I've been asked by a friend if I could repivot a French clock centre wheel arbor that I assumed that were hardened. Well, looking at that there, that does not look as though it was a hard pivot. I haven't run a file across it yet, but if I do need to pivot it, or not if I need to pivot, I'm going to pivot it anyway or have a go. I did say to him that I've never done a French clock arbor before, but I'm willing to have a go at it. Okay, so I've drilled a hole in a bit of brass, partially parted it off and then heated that bit there, and you can see that it's gradually gone blue. If I pull it out, if it's not too hot, see that it's nice and blue, so just leave it in there to cool down and that will be nice and soft then, hopefully. Sorry about the shaky camera. But next part of the video is the cock-up I make and how I get out of it. Almost 3 mil, so I want a little bit more. Give it a little bit more oil. Oh, you bugger. That just broke on me. Oh. That's annoying. Okay, to get over this cock up of the drill bit breaking off, and it's carbide, which is a bit of a pain because they're impossible to get out. So I need to get over this somehow. So what I intend to do is cut the pinion off there, mount that in the lathe, and from this end drill through. That was a 0.7 carbide drill in there, so I'm going to put a 1 mil through to start with, get that bit of carbide out, and then I'll put a 1.2 all the way through. Then mount this end in the lathe, obviously the lathe in there that way round, so I can drill into this bit, and then I should make a small section up with a pivot on the end with a 1.2 OD, so this will go onto it, just fraction over 1.2, just so this is a press fit on it, a nice tight press fit, and so it'll go up inside the hole I make in there, so it'll end up exactly the same as this, but with the pivot on the end. I'm not going to do it on this one, I'm going to do it on this one. This is one out of my parts drawer. It's a shame, it's very slightly shorter. I was contemplating on lengthening this end, but then I thought, well, I haven't got the clock. This here, the shoulder where it sits in the plate is different size to this one, so it's easier to modify this one. But as I say, I'm going to do it on this one to make sure I can do it, because it's something I've never done before, and then once I know I can do it on here, then if the chap that owns this is happy, I'll do it on that. Just a drop of oil on it. Just got to peck it very slightly a little bit, bring it out a little bit, even though it's a high speed steel drill bit. which is not quite as brittle as carbide. I've got to drill all the way through this. There we are, all the way through. There we are. You can see that. Get it in focus. There we are, drilled all the way through. Okay, now we're set up to do the other end. Again, I've got to put a centre in. I'll just check that, make sure we're in the centre. Yeah, so it's not moving at all. That's good. Nice and central. So now we've got to put a... I'm not sure what size to put in there. Let's have a look, see what size that is. .8. 1.2 might be right in there. I don't want to go too big, but I want to go big enough so it's got a little bit of meat. That's probably deep enough, a little bit more than that. Good. So now I need to turn a piece of blue steel down that will fit in there nicely, and then turn that down to take the pinion. I'll bring you back in a minute. Yeah, I've decided to do the pivot with a graver. It's so fine, in 0.72, just a little bit at a time, very gently measure it. 9.1. Well, it's the same at the end. 8.991. Yeah, so it's very close to being parallel, but not quite. It's the slightest bit swarf in the way, you can't see what you're doing. I get really close and I'll finish it off with a pivot file. Have a measure again. 0.84, 0.85. They are 0.85 at the minute. Let's go a little bit more before I do it with a pivot file. Right, let's see what that is. 0.8. 0.8. So now we'll do that with a pivot file. Because I think it'll be a bit easier to get that last little bit. See what that is now. 0.79, so it didn't take much off. .76, getting there. .73. I think we're going to leave it at that because the bush can be opened up. Right, we'll have a drop of oil on the burnisher and we'll give it a burnish. That should do it for that anyway. Just got to bring it out a little bit and do the taper the shoulders slightly, but don't want to do that yet, do I? Because I've got to turn it down to 1.2, haven't I? So let's do that next. I think I'll do it a little bit at a time. This steel is 2mm at the moment, so I've got to take 0.8 off. At least I think it was 1.2. I better check that because when you get old like me, the next day you might forget. I'll come back in a minute. Yes, 1.2. So we've got to take 0.8 off of this, and it needs to be a sliding fit. So a bit more speed on that. Don't think we're there yet, but .69. Sorry, I'm not talking much because I'm concentrating, so this is a first for me. I've done it once before a larger clock, replaced a pinion, but not replaced a bit of arbor and the original pinion. .45. Long-winded job this, but it's the only way I can think of doing it. But even then, there's no guarantee it'll work. But 3/9, very slightly larger towards the head. .38 all the way along, so keep it level now. I think I can probably do that with the file now. Let's give it a go and see. Okay, so this is what we got. Got the arbor with a hole through to get the right end, through the centre there. We've got the pinion that was cut off with a hole through the centre there, and then we've got this. So basically this has to be press fitted onto there. Then this has to be cut down so it will go into there at the right length. That's the next job. So I'll get that pressed onto there, get that bit cut off, and then we'll put it in the lathe again and trim that down so it sits in there. That's the next job. Okay, that's been press fitted onto there. I've turned, where's my pointer? I've turned this bit down to go into there. So that just got gone there now. Little smidge of Loctite in there. No, I'll put the right end in, mightn't it? The other end ain't got a hole in the right place. There we are. I'll just check, make sure it's running true. I think that's the one. No, it's the wrong one. That one. I haven't put any Loctite on it. This is just a mock-up to you can't say that's true. So now if the chap I was doing it for is happy, I'll do this one. This is one out of my spares box. I just wanted to make sure that I could do it. So we'll I'll get in touch with the chap, and if he's happy for me to have a go, then I'll do it as before. I can't guarantee anything, but I try my best, and that seems fine to me. once it's got a bit of Loctite and that in it. The most important thing is getting the spacing right so there's a bit of end float. Thank you very much.